So I say to the priest, well, Father, we were doing pretty well for most of the month, but then on the last day, she dropped a can of corn and bent over to pick it up, and I couldn't control myself. I had to have sex with her. And the priest shakes his head and says, well, in that case, you can't have your wedding at my church, and you're no longer welcome here. And I shrug and say, doesn't surprise me, the manager of the grocery store told us the same thing.
Was that a true story, or a joke you told from the first person?
Just a joke. I told it in the first person to make it funnier.
It didn't work, baby. Also, it's a little rapey.
How?
The way you tell it makes it sound like she bent over to pick up the can of corn and you just grabbed her and took her.
But it wasn't necessarily non-consensual.
You said I couldn't control myself.
Maybe she couldn't either. Maybe we were both swept up in the heat of passion.
I think you should work that into the setup somehow.
Any other notes on my joke?
Yes. Your phrasing of the punchline makes it sound like the grocery store manager also told you that you can't have your wedding at his church.
What?
You said the grocery store manager said the same thing, meaning the same thing as the priest who told you that you couldn't have your wedding at his church, in addition to telling you that you were no longer welcome there.
I don't think anyone would assume that's what I meant.
Why not?
Because it's obvious that when I say the grocery store manager told us the same thing, I'm referring to the priest saying you're no longer welcome here.
Why is it obvious?
Because if I was referring to everything the priest said, that wouldn't make sense with the punchline. It wouldn't be funny. Why would I tell a joke that wasn't funny?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Howdy, folks. Sorry I'm late. Hope you're not starving on my account.
It's no problem, Prospector.
Yeah, don't worry, baby. We ain't even picked a place to eat yet.
I've been wanting to go to that new Scottish place in Shepherdstown, Kilty. They just added a vegetarian Scotch pie to the menu that I am dying to try.
Sounds good to me, baby. How about everybody else?
I suppose it is acceptable.
Yeah, I vote guilty.
All right, then. Guilty.
Stuffy?
Actually, I was hoping we could go to Pete's.
Oh, there's always one.
Pete's?
I just had lunch there yesterday, baby. Guilty is the obviously superior choice, my friend.
Now, far be it for me to try and tell you all your business, especially since I was late getting here, but if we're going to go out to eat together, I think we ought to reach a unanimous decision as to where we're going. I just hate the thought of dragging somebody along.
Good point, baby. I don't want us to go somewhere when one of us wants to be somewhere else.
Thank you.
So let's just leave Stuffy here, and the rest of us can go to Kilty. 9, that is not acceptable. This group outing was Stuffy's idea. We cannot coldly abandon him like a mother harp seal leaving her young to fend for themselves after nursing has concluded.
Thank you, Hines.
I wasn't really going to leave Stuffy, babies. I was just testing the rest of you to see what kind of friends you were. You passed the test, babies. Good for you.
So now what?
Well, maybe we could talk for a bit. You could all say something about why you want to go to Kilty. I might even change my mind.
Sounds good, baby. I can start. Last year, me and Jack went to the Kilty they have in Frederick, and it was pretty okay. We both got the fish supper. Fish was crispy, fries were hot, beer was cold. Even Jack liked it, and you know how he is with Scottish shit. That Kilty was good, so what the hell? Why not try the new one in Sheptown? You're up, baby. Yeah. Despite the growing number of Kilty locations in our region, I have never partaken of Scottish cuisine. I consider this an embarrassing culinary oversight, one which I long to correct at the earliest opportunity. As an immigrant to this land of cultural and ethnic diversity, I feel it is my responsibility not only to add to the melting pot, but also to broaden my horizons by experiencing the many varieties of—
You have made your point. Now I will speak. Husky cuisine is, of course, the finest food in the world, but Husky chefs excel not only at preparing our own dishes, but also the disgusting slop favored by other lesser breeds. It just so happens that the head chef at the new Shepherdstown Kilty is Gaston Montrose, one of the most promising young Husky chefs in the area.
A Husky chef cooking non-Husky food?
We are a generous and benevolent breed. Our acts of charity toward lesser breeds take many forms. I promise you that deep-fried sheep lung or whatever they serve there will never taste better than when prepared by a trained, highly skilled Husky chef. I have said my piece. You may speak.
I kinda said mine already. I want to try the vegetarian Scotch pie, but the husky chef bit intrigues me too.
Perhaps there's hope for you yet.
Really?
I was kidding.
Oh, my turn, I guess? Well, to tell you the truth, I only said Kilty because I thought that's what everyone else wanted. But you do make it sound like the kind of place I want to try. I don't reckon I've ever had non-husky food cooked by a husky. So, there you go. I think we're over to you.
Me? I didn't expect to get a turn. All right, then. I couldn't help but notice that a few of you made mention of the fact that Kilty is a chain restaurant. You're right, Hans. There are new locations opening up all over. I've heard from others that the food is pretty good. I've never tried it myself. But, you know, if we don't support our locally owned businesses, places like Pete's, then pretty soon those chain restaurants will be all we have. And I don't think that would be a good thing, all the places where we go to eat being owned and operated by outsiders, big faceless corporations who don't know or care anything about our community. 10,000 independent restaurants closed down last year alone.
Come on, don't make it all political. Besides, locally owned businesses aren't perfect. I had a punch card at Pete's good for a free meal after 10 purchases. It was almost full, and then when Wilhelmina bought the place, she discontinued that promotion. So now I've just got a worthless, mostly full punch card. What am I supposed to do with that? I ate all that deep-fried cauliflower for nothing? I mean, sure, it's a little thing, but that punch card is a promise. You do what's asked of you, you fulfill your part of the bargain, you put the work in, you get the reward. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I still believe that should mean something.
Yeah, that's some real thoughtful shit. Can we figure this out before too much longer, baby? The East Coast Pit Fighting Championship starts in about an hour, and I don't want to miss it.
Is that pit fighting like pit bulls fighting, or pit fighting like fighting in a pit?
Fighting in a pit, baby. Tonight's main event is a fight between two pit bulls, but that's just a coincidence.
Look, I don't want to ruin everyone's night arguing about this, so let's just take another vote, and if no one else wants to go to Pete's, I'll change my vote, and we'll all go to Kilty's. Sound fair?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, sounds good to me, baby. Once around, just say your vote. Me first. Kilty. Kilty.
Kilty.
Kilty.
Not Kilty. Pete's.
Unbelievable!
Prospector, you're changing your vote when we were so close to agreeing on Kilty?
That's right. Like I said, Kilty sounds good to me, but the main reason I voted for it in the first place was because I thought it's where all my friends wanted to go. But Stuffy doesn't want to go there. And Stuffy's my friend. He gambled for support, so I gave it to him.
So what now?
Now we talk.
But what is left to talk about? We have all stated our positions. Is it not folly to continue this act of rhetorical masturbation?
Wait, what are we doing? Not necessarily. Talking about it could be very productive. Prospector Jones just changed his mind. More of you might change your minds too. Or I might change mine.
Your optimism does you credit, foolhardy though it is.
I don't think it's foolhardy. I bet I can change your mind.
What's the bet? I want a piece of this.
I was speaking rhetorically.
But not masturbating rhetorically.
We'll see. You voted Kilty because you wanted to try Scottish food, right?
Yeah, this is my principal motivation.
What if I told you that Kilty is not authentic Scottish food? Would that make a difference?
Perhaps.
Kilty is not authentic Scottish food.
Elaborate.
Kilty is to Scottish food as the Olive Garden is to Italian food. It's a simplified approximation of the real thing intended for mass consumption.
Man, why does everybody always shit on the Olive Garden? I mean, no, it ain't fine dining, but there's nothing horrible about it.
There's probably nothing horrible about the food at Kilty either, but Hans said he wants to eat there so he can try Scottish food, and they don't serve genuine Scottish food at Kilty.
Your argument is persuasive. I hereby change my vote.
What? You just voted in favor of Kilty a couple of minutes ago.
That was then, an eternity ago, when I believed Kilty would allow me to sample the authentic cuisine of the noble Scots. I am no longer sure that would be the case. I have a reasonable doubt now.
This is ridiculous. I already gave you all the reason you need to vote Kilty. What difference does it make whether the food is authentic or not? None of you non-Huskies have the first clue about cooking anyway. Oh sure, a few of you can muddle through and occasionally make something that's almost edible. I'm always the first to admit it. But real talent is a gift from Husko, and Husko bestows his talents as he sees fit to Huskies. Huskies! You should all be lining up to eat at a restaurant with a Husky in the kitchen, a Husky who has lowered himself to preparing inferior human cuisine. What are you doing? Can't you see I'm trying to help you? You're making a mistake. I'm trying to... What are you doing, human? You're still on my side.
I was just doing what they were doing. I didn't want to be left out.
Just for that, I'm switching my vote.
What?
I'm switching my vote too, baby.
Hey, come on, what did I do to you?
Nothing. But this is dragging on and I don't want to miss the fight.
That doesn't really count though, does it? He's not voting for Pete's, he's just saying he doesn't care.
Call it 5-1 or 4-1 with one abstention. Either way, you're outnumbered. You're alone.
Well, I don't care. I vote guilty. What else do you want me to say?
We want to hear your arguments.
I already told you.
We want to hear them again.
Everything. Every single thing we've been talking about says we should go to Kilty, and I mean everything. How many of you wanted to try Scottish food? Or check out that Husky chef? Huh? Most of you. But what? You change your minds? Because it's not authentic? What does that even mean? And this business about it being a chain restaurant, there's a load of dishonesty if I ever heard it. Which one of you never went to a chain restaurant? Which one of you never passed up a locally owned place to go to the Olive Garden or Applebee's? And sure, you can talk about how the big corporations are choking out the small business, but you can't prove it. You can lament the commercialization of the community and rattle off statistics accurately describing industry trends all day long, but you can't prove it! I'm telling you, everything that has gone on here tonight has been twisted and turned. You lousy bunch of bleeding hearts. You're not gonna intimidate me. I'm entitled to my opinion. I'll tell you what. Anyone who wants to go to Kilty tonight, it's on me. I can afford it. I'm a YouTube big shot. I got everything I need right here. I'll show you. I got... Well, there it is. That's the whole case. Lousy card, you work your life out. No. Not guilty. Not guilty.
Okay, that's 6 votes for Pete. Let's go, babies.
About bloody time you made up your minds. You were supposed to call me half an hour ago to let me know where we were all meeting for supper. Goddamned inconvenient if you ask me.
But we decided to eat here, baby. Weren't you here already?
That is not the point.
Anti-Hunger Alliance is a network of food charities serving people in need in your region and all across the country.
Christ, how many commercials are they going to play before they get back to this fight?
I don't know, but I'm glad they play them. Otherwise, I might have missed the first round.
Is that you narrating this commercial?
Oh, yes it is. I can't believe they're still running those. It's been so long since we made them.
Nobody who works there now could do any better, I bet.
Thank you.
Are you still taking voiceover work?
I never really thought about it. Why do you ask?
Yeah, why do you ask, baby?
For if we ever want to take out an ad for our dojo / detective agency / security company.
Ain't no need for that, baby. Business is booming. Besides, if we ever did a commercial, I have the perfect person in mind to narrate. You do? Yeah, baby. Me. Oh, I know just who I'd want to star in it too. Yeah? Also me. I see. I'm sure your performance will be more than adequate despite your total lack of training and professional experience. Thank you, baby. Some of us are just naturals, I guess.
Maybe you could be an extra.
9. I grew weary of taking such demeaning, undignified jobs. That is why I became an adjunct professor at a community college.
What's your problem? You got what you wanted? We're all having dinner at Pete's?
I know. It's just something about seeing that old commercial, I guess. Have you found someone to take over as manager of the new shelter yet?
We have several promising candidates, but we haven't settled on anyone yet.
Give it to me.
Excuse me?
I want the job. Please. I'm not a husky, I know, but it is an all-species shelter, and I think I'm the best person for the job.
Well, you do have relevant experience. I can put in a good word for you if you're serious.
I am serious.
This is a full-time position. If you get this job, you will have to leave the community outreach team at the HURT. Are you sure that's what you want?
Yes. I love my work with the community outreach team, but what better form of community outreach can there be than running a shelter for people in need?
Very well. Expect a call.
Thank you, Millicent.
No thanks are necessary. I trust you will do an excellent job.
I appreciate your confidence in me.
Of course you do.
I wish you'd have told me you had an almost full punch card.
It's not a big deal. You canceled the program. It's your place now. You can do what you want.
I know, but I would have made an exception for you. Besides, you're in here all the time and it's only one free meal.
You're right, I am in here all the time lately. I bet if you were still doing that promotion, I'd have filled up another one of those punch cards by now.
I'm positive you would have. So do you want me to comp your meal tonight?
Yeah, okay. If you're sure.
Sure, I'm sure.
Thank you.
No problem. At all. I'll just need to see that card.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. Hope you liked this episode. And now, here to talk to you for a minute is the one and only Jack McPherson.
Hello. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to help us to keep making these videos and you've got a bit of money to waste, become a supporter of this channel with a monthly donation through Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/SteveShives to become a patron.
Thanks, Jack. Hey, I wasn't really paying attention at Pete's. How'd the fight you and Toby Benson were watching turn out?
The light brown pit bull knocked out the slightly darker brown pit bull in the second round. It was bloody brutal.
That sounds like a dog fight.
Aye, that's just what it was.
But I thought dog fighting was illegal.
Sure, but it's unregulated.
Oh,
Just like human fighting, innit?
that makes sense.